You said 18?
That's what I thought it was.
I was on it, and then the... Shoot. Well, we're starting out with message 551, part 1. This will be session 3. Boy. Here we go. Found it. Okay, so we're continuing on with the message. And so Kabbalah on this major point is wrong. God does not kill to make alive. These 10 Sephirot are conscious beings that were killed. They died, and we're told in other studies that God does not do that. Yet the scripture comes to mind in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39, and Jehovah is saying that I kill and then I make alive. And remember, every time there's a contradiction, you're lacking information. If you have two truths in the scripture and you believe both are true, all you need is a connecting piece of information to reconcile the two truths. When Jehovah says, I kill and I make alive, he's talking about fallen man, first of all. He's talking about the killing of our carnal mind, our sin nature. He kills our sin nature so that we can become alive as we start to live out of his righteous nature. But God does not kill righteous conscious beings as part of his plan. These conscious beings, these 10 Sephirot, they were righteous. They had not sinned. It was an imputed righteousness, which means they were righteous without having been tested, but they had not sinned yet. So they had an imputed righteousness, and what does that mean? It means that God was treating them and relating to them as if they were righteous. He wasn't dealing with them as sinners. So why would he kill them? No, it's not true. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. Now there's another copulation that I will show you here in drawing 3, and the doctrine of Christ says that the world of points was incomplete, and the world of points performed the function of the whole male. Now this male organ, before it had any seed, before its testes came forth, produced the next step of the creation. From the doctrine of Christ, we know that Jehovah calls this configuration a eunuch. Now when this principle came forth in the doctrine of Christ, I didn't know anything about the 10 Sephirot, but I knew that there was a eunuch. We know that the doctrine of Christ teaches about a eunuch, and we know that the eunuch has a name in the doctrine of Christ. It's called Leviathan. Now, the way it's taught in the doctrine of Christ is that Leviathan is a male organ of the woman who usurped the authority of Adam and brought forth this corrupt creation, which is a parallel universe. It completely lines up. If you can see, the scenery is different on both sides, but the substance is the same. So let me say it again. The doctrine of Christ is the female usurped the authority of the male and started acting like a male and brought forth a creation that was corrupt. The female was called the eunuch by Jehovah, which means she could function as a male, but she had no seed. That came forth a couple of years ago in the doctrine of Christ. Now back to Kabbalah, the 10th spirit of the world of points came forth. The female, B-A-N, was born, but she was only the male organ. She had to wait for the son to be born, which is the M-A-H, so that the two of them could join together and be one whole male organ, which was male organ with testes, male organ with seed. But the female didn't wait for a union with her testes, with her husband, with the male. She went forth and acted like a man. She did what Leviathan did. She had the power to complete the act, to bring forth the creation, but the creation was corrupt because she completed the act without the seed. Therefore, the whole world of points broke and collapsed and shattered and fell down to a lower plane of consciousness, where some of the light that was in the vessels are now trapped. This is Kabbalah now. Sparks of light that were in each of these vessels are now trapped down here in this world, and the object of salvation, according to Kabbalah, is to save these trapped sparks of light and restore them back to the world above. But from everything that I have read so far, I don't see any Kabbalists recognizing that these trapped sparks of light that have to be restored are us. I read in Kabbalah that we are the ones who are God's helpers to save these trapped sparks. Well, that's true, but the trapped sparks are us. We're the ones that are trapped down here. Maybe they know that, and I haven't read those books yet. I don't know. All right, so did I make the comparison between the two doctrines clear? Kabbalah says the vessels of the world of points shattered and the pieces of the vessels fell down to the lower worlds and that most of the light went back up. But sparks of the light came back down here, and this is the source of all of the evil in the world. The shattered vessels and the sparks of light. I don't know if they say it's a spark of light. It's the shattered vessels that they call shells that are down here. And what I have just told you is Kabbalah, is BAN, the male organ without the testes, the eunuch. Went ahead and completed the next step of creation without her seed. That is revelation that came forth from the Lord today. Whether or not there is a Kabbalist somewhere that has that revelation, I don't know. I've not read that anywhere. So I want to make that very clear that that is what the Lord has given me this morning. Now, as far as Kabbalah goes, the world of points lived and died because the vessels came out in a straight line because God set it up that way. It couldn't have ever been any other way that the vessel is shattered because the whole purpose of creation is a rectification. Which means the whole purpose of creation is that we should find ourselves down here in this plane of misery, those are my words, so that we could have the privilege of overcoming and ascending. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. If you want to buy it, you buy it. That's not my God. We're going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to show you something else first. I want to make it very clear, according to the basic Kabbalah books that I have been reading, there are 3 couplings. Couplings?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The first coupling is between Chokmah and Binah, and brings forth the female, BAN. And the second coupling between Chokmah and Binah brings forth the son, or the male, the MAH. Then the third coupling is between the MAH and the BAN, the son and the daughter. That's all Kabbalah. Now I'm talking about a fourth coupling. And if it's in Kabbalah, I haven't read it yet, but it may be in there and it may not. But it's the Lord's explanation to me as to what happened. The way I got this revelation was that I was trying to relate the theory of the world of points, or the doctrine of the world of points, to the doctrine of Christ. I was asking the Lord to show me, and first of all, he said, oh, well, first I said, oh, well, the world of points must be the Adam who fell. But then I studied further, and I said, no, the world of points is female. So how could that be that Adam fell? This whole teaching that's coming forth this morning about a fourth coupling is the Lord's answer to my question. Now, in drawing through on the left side of the board, I'm showing you Adam Kanmon. The hairs of his head, the hairs of his beard, the heart, the navel of the world of points, which is light. The world of points consists of light, or many points of light that surround Adam Kanmon below his navel. On the right side of the board, I've done the best I could to show you a cross-section of the world of points. I show you Adam Kanmon's face, and I indicate the light coming out of his eyes, coming down, which light in reality is the outside aspects of the world of points. There is an outside and there is an inside and an outside to the world of points, just like there's an inside and outside to your hand. It's one world of points, but there's an inside and an outside. Now, the inside of the world of points is the inside of Adam Kanmon. There's a whole detailed teaching here that I'm skipping over. I don't know that Kabbalah says this is the teaching that's coming out of the Tree of Life, which is Isaac Luria's teaching as presented by his student, Chaim Vital. It's a very high authority in Kabbalistic circles. It's not the ultimate, and this is what we're told in it. There are inner and outer aspects of the world of points. The world of points is male and female. MAH is the male, but he has female elements. This is the definition of the difference between male and man. Male is 100% male, and man is male with female elements, but primarily male. The difference between female and woman is that female is 100% female, and woman is female with male elements, but primarily female. This is the creation. Day and night and darkness. It's a mixture. Man and woman are mixtures. They're night and day. I don't know if they're night and day. They're evening and morning. Please don't hold me to these terms. The substance of what I'm giving you is correct, but I may have the terms wrong. So we're told in the Tree of Life that the inner aspects of MAH and BAN are on the inside of the world of points. So we see we have the elements of male and female on the inside and on the outside of the world of points. We're supposed to also have the elements of male and female. Now, the difference between the inside and the outside is that the female that's on the outside, the BAN, she is born of the union of the SAG and the AB. SAG, S-A-G, is Binah, and AB is Chokmah. So she has to be a more mature, a more powerful manifestation of the BAN, B-A-N, that is simple, or still has the inside of Adam Kanmon. Now, the plan was that after the female was born, the BAN, the BAN, the male, was supposed to be born. The male, the MAH, was supposed to be born out of the eyes of Adam Kenmon. He was supposed to come after the female, and the male, the son, was supposed to be born. I shouldn't really say the male and the female. I should call them the son and the daughter, because on the inside of the world of points, we have the male and the female. Once they're born, they have to be different than just plain male and female. So we'll see. So we'll say that the daughter was born, the BAN, and the son was supposed to be born immediately. I don't know about immediately, but the son was supposed to be born thereafter, and we have legal, spiritual incest. The son and the daughter were destined to marry and produce one whole man. That's what Kabbalah says. That's the three couplings of Kabbalah: SAG and AB, couple, and bring forth BAN. The female or the daughter, and Abba and Emma, couple again, and bring forth the MAH, the son. Then there's a third coupling, the son and the daughter marry. That's classic Kabbalah. Now, this is the doctrine of Christ that I'm going on with. What I am about to tell you now is what the Lord told me, and I don't know whether or not the secret is known to Kabbalists and just wasn't expressed in writing. But we're told in the translated books that the world of points, the 10 Sephir, that came out in the straight line, that those vessels shattered, and that world died, and the light was reconfigured into the world of emanation. And maybe some Kabbalists have the revelation of what I'm going to tell you now. But this is what the Lord has told me. And maybe Kabbalah has some partial truth about the vessel shattering if I took the time to really pick it apart. It's only a partial truth, because Kabbalah says the whole reason that the world of points died was that there was 10 Sephir in a straight line, and that there was enough light to fill all 10 vessels. So let's call them 10 measures of light. There was enough light to fill 10 vessels. 10 measures of light dumped into the first vessel. The first vessel couldn't contain it. The first vessel was not able to keep what it needed for itself and pass the other 9 measures on down to the vessel beneath it. This was the plan, we're told. Then the vessel beneath it that had 9 measures of light was supposed to take what it needed and pass 8 measures down to the next vessel. And each vessel was supposed to take the measure that it needed and pass the residue on. But the vessel of the world of points failed to do this. And all the 10 measures of light dumped into the first vessel, and the first vessel collapsed, and then all the vessels collapsed and shattered underneath it. I really haven't prayed about this, but the Lord just gave me this revelation yesterday and today, so I'm going to take a positive position here. It's very possible that there is some truth to this, but it's a truth that is isolated from the whole truth, because the conclusion that Kabbalah draws is that God intended it this way. God intended the vessels to break, because surely God had to know that the vessels would come out in a straight line and that they couldn't contain all the light. God had to have known it. Therefore, God did this on purpose. That, as I have said earlier on this message, I cannot receive. The truth that the Lord gave me is that the daughter that was born was just the male organ without the testes. She was a part of the whole male organ. Now back to the board. So now the doctrine of Christ says that the daughter came forth first. She was destined to marry. She was supposed to wait for the son to come forth and marry the son to create the whole subconscious part of the fruit, the mind. Fruit in that powerful union. Fruit means that there was a union. So the daughter and the son were to marry and bring forth that collective strength, because when you add the daughter and the son, you have more energy than the energy of the daughter plus the energy of the son. And when you marry 2 sources of energy, you have an exceptional increase, exponential increase. You have more than 1 plus 1. So the man that was to come forth, that was outside, was supposed to have a 4th coupling with the female and the male that was inside. The purpose of this is what's being formed. This world of points in the 10th spirit. Oh, it's so wonderful. This esoteric doctrine. What does it mean in reality? What it means is the formation of a mind at a very high level. So this would be the joining then of the subconscious part of the mind with the unconscious part of the mind. And of course, the subconscious and all parts of the mind have to be joined, because the whole purpose of a mind is that thought arises in the unconscious part of the mind, flows in the subconscious part of the mind, and then manifests in the conscious part of the mind. Next step is that that thought is acted out. That's what the world of action is. Thought arises in the world of emanation. Well, I better not get into that right now, because I didn't work it out in my mind yet. But that's basically the procedure. All of the processes and all the aspects of the mind have to be joined and working in union with each other. So there has to be a union. I don't hear this in Kabbalah. So that was the deal, that the whole man, or the whole subconscious aspect, which was stronger than the male and the female on the inside, had to work together. Why was the aspects on the outside stronger than the aspects on the inside? Can anyone tell us that? because the aspects on the outside were born of the union of Abba and Emma. And the aspects on the inside, the female and the male, the MAH and the VAN, the male and the female on the inside, they were the original inner aspects of the first word that came forth in creation. The BAN, BAN on the outside, which is the daughter, she was a product of the union of Abba and Emma. That means that she has elements of Abba and Emma in her. That means she has Abba, wisdom, and elements of Emma, understanding. The MAH, the Ma, and the BAN, the son and the daughter on the inside, there's no understanding there. There's no wisdom there. But the daughter on the outside, her name is BAN, female. But yet she has aspects of wisdom and understanding because she is the offspring of Abba and Emma. The BAN, the BAN on the outside was stronger. Or we could say an older sister than the BAN on the inside. The BAN on the outside was more mature than the BAN on the inside. The BAN, the daughter on the outside, was supposed to be married to the son, and together they were supposed to have a fourth union. And this is now the doctrine of Christ. I've not read this anywhere in Kabbalah. There was to be a fourth coupling between the man and the outside because the son and the daughter were going to marry and produce a whole man, a man that had a female side to him. That man was supposed to marry the inner aspects of the male and the female that was on the inside of Adam Kanmon, on the inside of the world of points. But the daughter that came forth did not wait for the son to be born. This comes out of the doctrine of Christ that she seized herself. We taught this years ago, that the female seized herself and that it was spiritual masturbation. We're just applying this in a different place. So the daughter that was born of Abba and Emma, instead of waiting for her husband to come forth, the son, and marry him, she went ahead and performed the fourth coupling without her husband. She can be likened to a male organ without a seed. We're told in Genesis chapter 3, verse 6, and she took of the fruit thereof and did eat and gave also to her husband with her. This is the translation that I suggest to you. And BAN on the outside took that word. Took can be translated seized. She seized herself. As she seized the fruit, fruit is the product of a tree. So who's the fruit? We know the fruit is BAN on the outside because she's born of the union of Abba and Emma, the fruit of the womb. Fruit means offspring. So we know that fruit is talking about BAN on the outside. She, BAN, B-A-N on the outside, took or seized the fruit. She seized herself. She acted like a man and a woman. And BAN on the outside did eat of the fruit. She ate of herself. She didn't wait for herself. She joined with herself. She completed herself. BAN on the outside gave the fruit of herself, and it's right on the board. I just started to say it wrong, but let me say it on the beginning again. Start at the beginning again. The fruit of the BAN on the outside seized herself in an act of spiritual masturbation. And then BAN on the inside did eat of the fruit of BAN on the outside. Let me just read a little bit longer here. We know that BAN on the outside is the fruit because she's the fruit of the union of Abba and Emma. BAN, that's the female on the inside. She ate of her older sister, you might say. She had sex with her older sister. BAN on the outside. BAN on the outside gave the fruit of herself, or the fruit of BAN on the outside, and she gave it also to MAH, the Ma. The husband of BAN on the inside, who was with BAN on the inside. I'm not sure about this one here, but I'm not sure who was with BAN on the inside. I'm not sure about this one. Oops. I'm not sure who gave the fruit to the male on the inside. I'm not sure whether it was BAN, the female on the outside, that gave to both of them, or that BAN on the outside communicated with BAN on the inside, and then BAN on the inside gave it to her husband. I'm not sure whether it's that or whether it's BAN on the outside communicated with BAN on the inside, and then also communicated with the male on the inside. Very complicated. I hope you're following me here. So I'm going to end there for today.
Take two starts just a little bit to do.
Does it? Okay. Oh, well.
Whatever you want to do, obviously.
No, I'm going to stop right there.